Welcome, love. This is Sex, Drugs, and Sound Bowls, and I'm Jessie Siren, here to stir the cauldron with raw psycho-spiritual talks on healing, plant medicine, sex, motherhood, and the sacred chaos that cracks us open and lights the way forward. Expect deep truth and raw feels that leave you inspired, held in your humanness, and ready to take your rightful place as the creator of your own experience. With a deep breath and an open heart, let's be all the way here now. Hello and welcome back to Sex, Drugs, and Sound Bowls. We have a very special guest today. Matt Siren, folks. When I conceived of this whole podcast idea, it was originally Matt and I talking about sex, drugs, and sound bowls together. At the time, we were actually doing all of those things together.
Yeah.
Back in the day, a couple years ago. Matt plays a mean sound bowl. Something interesting about Matt. And we've sat down and tried a few times to share, and it's been difficult because we are so different. And insert human design. And I'm really grateful for the opportunity to understand Matt in a little bit of a deeper and more compassionate way. He's a projector. I'm going to ask him direct questions today so that he doesn't have to over mental and he can just feel into what this experience has been like for him, because I'm just so fucking grateful that Matt makes me cry. I'm so grateful that Matt is the man that he is. And I want to share his sweetness with the world. I think it's inspiring.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. He loves this tiny microphone thing.
I'm not getting it, but
So just like giving a little bit of a backstory. Um I oh, I came into this relationship carrying an invisible bag of dragging an invisible bag of like dead bodies behind me. I was trauma laden. And what was the like was there a moment when you realized like, oh shit, like
I guess. Well, are we going to talk about how we got into the?
is that the moment that it happened? I guess that's what I'm
Yeah,
wondering about.
I guess after our first couple journeys, really.
That's when you
Well, there
noticed.
was more messiness than originally thought, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I'm kind of remembering right now, like before that, I had been in some pretty intense therapy when we first got together through KSARC, which God bless them. It was an incredible experience. It was like the first kind of um, King County therapy for sexual assault survivors, something like that. It was the first time that like the lid off of Pandora's box like it got rattled a little bit. But I remember the therapist that I had at that time. I was still just projecting all my pain, all my angst, all my hatred of men onto Matt. And I remember her just being like, wow, you are the victim and life has been so crazy and hard and you need to leave him. Leave him. And thank God I did not take her advice. But I wonder if that was like in the beginning of our relationship, did you kind of feel like maybe there was something wrong with you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, but I mean, maybe there still is, but
uh,
anyway, yeah. So I guess there was a little, uh, I don't know, knowing that there was something off before we started journeying together.
mhm.
But yeah, still probably thought there was something wrong with me. So we got into the psychedelic therapy world.
Mhm. And I think, yeah, right before that too, I had seen the most kick-ass therapist of my life, and I'd gone to see her, and I remember being like, "Oh, Matt has all these problems." I like try to give him meditation and organic food, and like teach him yoga, and like show him how to breathe, and he's just. And after she listened to me prattle on, she was like, are you ready to hear what I have to say? And I was like, yes, ready for another therapist to tell me, like, poor you, boo hoo, life has been hard and you should leave him. And she was like, it sounds like you have a God complex. And I wonder where along the line you decided that it was your job to fix him or that he needed fixing. And I was like, what? And I left, but I share that only because that was the moment where I was like, God, there's something here bigger than just this is a dance. This is a two-person thing. What's going on with me? Long story, very, very, very short. He was messy. I was messy. We loved the shit out of each other. We felt this wedge between us. We tried everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything from yoga to breathwork to meditation to talk therapy to sex work, magic, all the things. And we still felt kind of trapped in this really vicious cycle. And so that led us to
Psychedelic therapy.
drugs. First, I just want to ask, like, what do you remember about me in those early years? Year one, year two, year three. What do you remember about those years?
Um, I mean, it was hard. We were just kind of getting used to each other, and seems like I was always screwing up, or stuff was, like my fault.
Hmm.
But
It was.
maybe partially, but we both had like our stuff, right? So we didn't know that at the time. So yeah, getting into this was like a whole different world because we had tried so many different things.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, so
I remember I used the D word a lot. Divorce. Yeah, and we've actually been separated two or three times for a substantial amount of time. We called them like healing separations. They were never with the intention of leaving, but we would find ourselves in such angst, right? Such painful cycles that we were just replaying and replaying and replaying. Like taking a step out actually did feel, and even looking back, I think those were really important. That was really important space and time we took, uh, and maybe without moving into the world of therapeutic psychedelics, we could have like inched our way, and maybe by our 100th lifetime together, we would have found, I don't know, the spaciousness and love and connection and acceptance and all the things that we have found now. But fuck, who wants to wait that long? I'm not saying it's been easy. Watch this whole thing, okay? It hasn't been easy, but um, so we dove in head first, psychedelic therapy, and our therapist recommended that we each take a journey alone before we do it together. So we did months of preparation with our therapist. Um, we went to a third party for the actual drugs, and this person was genius, magical, marvelous, kind, compassionate, well educated, really set us up to feel safe and comfortable. And and I think I went first. Did I go first?
I
Oh, you
went
went
I went
first.
first.
I remember you went first. What did you do the first time?
We did MDMA the first, so we like each did. I did one night, and then she did the next
I remember coming back. So, okay. First, what do you remember about that first journey?
night. Um, First journey. I mean, there was like a feeling of a lot of love, and like how I wanted to protect you, and like I saw your inner child, and I wanted to like hold her and take care of her because yeah, I like knew that there was like some trauma in her past. So yeah, I just had like MDMA brings out a lot of like empathy, and yeah, I just wanted to show my love. So that was pretty much my journey. It wasn't nothing like from my past really came up or like any traumas, but it was more about you.
You're so sweet. I think I'm not crying, you're crying. I think it's interesting to note, like, if you've only ever taken MDMA recreationally, it's actually a really powerful, what do they call it? It's not a psychedelic. What's the word I'm not thinking of right now?
Empathogen.
Empathogen. And I would even go as far as to say, like, what's the word they use for like an entheogen?
Hmm.
Like, I feel like when you use it in a therapeutic setting, like Matt and I were masked for this with music, and so you're really turned in. Entheogen means like en in, theo God, gen generated. So it translates loosely to like remembering the God within, tuning into the God within. Um, I feel like it helps. It really helped both of us to kind of tune into this kind of consciousness. And I remember picking you up that night, and you were so soft, and you were so like open and so spacious, and that halo. Every time we've come back to the medicine, I feel like that halo, where it was like a day or two after the first time you did it, I feel like it stretches and stretches, and it becomes more and more of like who you actually are, like softer and more present and more available. And
Mm.
wow. So I like remember that night. I don't have a very good memory, and I like remember picking you up really vividly. Ugh. So I went next. Did I go the next night? I don't know.
Yeah.
And I was thinking of, maybe I would have just as sweet of an experience that Matt did. And I think it's interesting to note about this first journey. I would call myself, like, if you're into Ayurveda, I'm Vata. I'm very, very sensitive to any substances. I can have a beer and be having the time of my life. 2 beers, I'll be slurring my words. A hit of something, and I'm like, of a pot, that I'm seeing creatures come out of the shadows. Like, very sensitive. But I took I think I ended up taking like the largest dose they've ever given somebody because I could not let go of control. I was so terrified of letting go. I've been holding on so tightly for so long that I couldn't let go. So I took the standard dose, and nothing, like, I remember like 40 minutes later being like, am I high? Is this what it's like?
It
And
was
walking to
like
the
I think it
bathroom,
was
and they
like
were like,
I think it was like an hour
yeah, they're
maybe
like,
like
you would know if you were. And I was like, maybe I have to pee. I don't know. Like, so then they gave me the second dose. And then I remember, yeah, I remember when it came on. And I remember having this experience of like, oh my God, I didn't know I was holding on so tight. Oh my God. And that, I mean, like, just, oh, I've had journeys, subsequent journeys, where I've literally wept for my ancestors and for my mother and for my grandmother, because they never had the experience of just like this rippling release and surrender and love and peace through their tissues. It was cathartic. It was a cathartic moment for me. But the rest of that journey was less um, ecstatic and more revealing. Something else interesting to note about MDMA is that because it dulls the amygdala, right, your fear center in the body, and all of the, if you're into like IFS, internal family systems, it like basically tells all your protectors, right, all of the things you've had, like all your defenses, your armor, it lets it all down. Everybody's off for the night. The things that you have been guarding from yourself, the memories you've been guarding from yourself, they can come out to play. And they did that night in a really big way. Do you remember picking me up that night?
Yeah, you didn't like really go into everything right away,
Mm-mm.
but yeah, she was in the journey space like a lot longer than I was. Like, I picked her up at the time I was supposed to pick her up, but she was still in it, so I kind of waited around for.
When he says in it, he means very, very high. So, yeah.
I waited like a couple hours, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, because when it did come on, it all came on. Like, it all came on. Um, and so, yeah, so the subsequent journeys for me were even more revealing, and a lot of pain, a lot of grief, and a lot of childhood trauma. And actually, not even just childhood trauma, but just, if I have one superpower, it's like to always look forward into something brighter and sparkly. I'm a visionary. I can always see something beautiful in the future. And it has been really fucking hard for me in my life to like look down and notice the pain, the grief, the fear, the ugliness, the death, the decay around me. And so the medicine really brought me back into my body in the present moment, into all of the things that I was hiding in my tissues, in my heart, in my mind. And I can say now wholeheartedly that it is the best thing that ever happened to me. And if I had known what it would be like to integrate that information over the next couple years, I never would have fucking done it. Um, but thank God I did it. Thank God. Uh, so that psychedelic therapy era ended because we found out we were pregnant. And do you remember we tried for Nico? We tried for Nico for like maybe a year,
Mhm.
and we couldn't. All the other babies had been surprises, and so we thought, well, this must be easy, and it didn't happen. And then of course, like the moment you definitely don't want it to happen, you're in the midst of chaos. Um, it happens, and our Nico bear was conceived, and we stopped all medicine, and and I just spent the next couple years. I call it. I felt like I felt like woman between worlds. I can feel it right now. I felt like I had one foot in the past. Like I literally, like when I was walking through a room, I felt like split. Like part of me was like living in this perpetual fear and chaos and anxiety of the past of my childhood, and then part of me like knew I'm safe, I'm sovereign, I have this beautiful home and this beautiful husband and these beautiful babies, and I just felt like torn, ripped in half as I tried to like slowly put the exploded pieces of myself back together. What was that like to like, I don't know, witness me in the aftermath of the remembering?
I mean, it was tough. I don't know how to like really describe it. I just kind of like hung in there and took care of shit. But
You don't, you did, and but like I'm really curious. You don't have to be nice here. Like you can. I love. I want you to feel like you can be honest. I feel like it's. I feel like it's useful to other people. Like you fucking love me. I fucking love you. We like that is a core truth. But were there moments where you were like, I, I can't do this anymore? Were there moments where you were
no.
like who the fuck is this? Who did I marry?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there was, but yeah, I never gave up. But yeah, it was tough.
What gave you hope? Like why didn't you ever give up? Because I like, and just to know, I didn't even have hope. I had never experienced. I was experiencing all the darkness and pain and fear of my entire life, um, all at once, and I thought, I'm never coming out of this. This is it. This is, I've destroyed my. This is my life now. This is who I am now. And how did you have hope when I did not even
I
have
don't know. I
hope?
guess I just did. But then there was like time went on, and there was like little sparks of like, oh, she's getting through it, or like, you were trying. I
Mm.
mean,
Oh yeah.
so it wasn't. I guess that was the hope. Is just the never really giving up, even though it was hard.
Yeah, and maybe it would be different. I feel like I wonder if I hadn't been like making an effort, if you couldn't see me trying, you know. And
Yeah.
during this time, a couple things I'll just throw out there, useful tools when you're integrating. Fucking dance. Just I remember pushing all the furniture out of the living room and turning on like a five rhythms
First.
playlist with the boys, because I remember Indio saying at one point, he said, why is your voice always so sad, mommy? He was like 3 4. And so we'd push everything out of the living room, we'd turn the music up, and we'd flip it from like rage, headbanging music to classical, dance like a ballerina to rhythmic, tribal. And I'd just dance until whatever song struck a chord and I'd release. I'd cry, I'd be dancing still and cry. But it made it a way so it felt safe for me to express with my kids, right? I'd be like, everybody get your rage out, everybody get your sadness out. And I got to get that stuff out too. And I worked with a beautiful human at that time too. This is interesting. Okay. I felt like I was going to be stuck forever because I couldn't do psychedelics anymore because I was pregnant. And I ended up finding a woman who would be one of the greatest gifts of my life, who mentored me over the next few years. And when I met her, she said, if you work with me, I told her my story, my remembering. And she said, if you work with me and you use all the tools that I offer you and you prepare and you integrate, she's like, you may never want to or need to do psychedelics again. And that was really the thing that kind of started to, do you remember when I started to work with her and like
Hmm.
how that shifted things for me? And I started talking to gentler plants, like, and working with gentler plants. Like, I've been working with plants my whole life, but in a really kind of psychedelic way, working with like rose and lavender and sitting with the river and being with nature. And I remember just like falling into a bed of moss like it was the bosom of my mother, and like feeling held and safe, and things did start to shift for me through all of that. I want to like talk more about like what it was like to be with me then, and what did you do to keep your morale up, or to come back to hope, or to come back to love? Because so much of my wounding was around intimacy and sexual intimacy, and Matt's love language is touch. And God, you now I'm like, so much is coming back. Like, oh my God, in those years, I couldn't be like, there was like trigger points all over my body. I couldn't like have his breath close to me. I couldn't for years. I could not be kissed. I couldn't have a hand on my thigh. Like, there was just like this constant, wow. I like forgot about all that because I thought I was going to be trapped in that body forever that couldn't be touched and loved. But how did you hold out hope when you couldn't even like kiss your own wife or put your hand on my thigh?
I seriously don't know. I loved you and I wanted to stick with it.
You're loyal as fuck, is what he's saying. Oh,
But yeah, it was freaking hard, and but
was it worth the wait?
worth the wait.
Oh my God. Oh, I think you know when your partner is not like in it, you know? And hopefully that's like, yeah, I mean that's what always has kept me coming back to you, is like seeing that you are always in the dance. You know, if you were ever just like fuck it, you know, I'm just like going to sit here and couch rot and watch Netflix forever. You know?
Yeah.
So I think one of the really important ways we've supported each other is by giving each other sovereignty, autonomy to say like I need space to journey, to meditate, to do whatever without the kids.
Hmm.
And Matt has always been really incredible at just like never making me feel bad, never like, just always giving me that space when I need it.
We've gone through a few different journeys together since then, and
It's been epic.
it's been epic. But yeah, we've worked through stuff in them, and it seems like we've both lightened up a bit. Like, yeah, I guess our last one was
August?
it was a while back.
Yeah. So, what can you note about our first journey? How many years ago was that, do you think? Together?
What, 4 years ago, maybe 3 years?
3 years ago. So, our first journey together 3 years ago versus this journey. What are some main key differences that you can
Yeah. So
share?
the first journey, I think we were, well, it was mainly more you. We were more a little more scared going into it, a little hesitant. But yeah, during it, we both opened up a bit. But now, like, we get into it, and then we're both like, "Oh, here we are." Like,
It feels pretty safe now.
yeah.
Our first journey too. What do you remember about how we both like metabolized the medicine and what we wanted to do on the medicine?
Well, yeah. My love language is like, yeah, physical touch, and so I was more like, I don't know, euphoric, like hands on, like,
Yeah.
and you were more talkative, like nonstop talking. But since then, we've kind of tried to meet in the middle or give each other, like, go into both worlds sort of thing.
Yeah, I think on medicine once, or maybe even, I think this was the integration after. Like we came up with like, come into my world, you know, because like he'd be touching me and I'd be talking, and we just, it was like we had this beautiful opportunity to really see and be together, see each other, and really be together, but we were still in our trapped in our own loops. So that gentle reminder, just like come into my world, be with me for a minute, has actually been really powerful. Actually, even like in waking life, like I feel like I need to remember to come into your world more. Integration tips. What are some of the most, I don't know, useful integration tips you can offer anybody else out there who's like wanting to try doing this on their own or with their lover or
Hmm.
partner?
Well, integration. Well, first off, it's nice to have like some quiet time, either alone or together, like the next day, because just getting back into things can be a bit stressful.
Yeah.
And because you kind of have this afterglow where you can still kind of connect and talk about it and connect that way. But um, yeah, like journaling, meditating, um, yeah,
Yeah.
just
Yeah. And I think probably one of the biggest ones for me, Matt's just like resilient as fuck. And like medicine is so, he's, yeah, you're a mountain man. Perspective, come to the top, look down, understand. Like, I, time has been probably the most important integration tool for me. Using the medicine sparingly and really intentionally, and then giving myself lots of time to integrate whatever comes up. Because, oh, at the end of the day, I don't want to live for these sparkling heart, the doors of my heart flung wide open moments. I want life to be that juicy and connected and sensual and delicious every day, every day. And so, yeah, giving myself time to take whatever lessons have come out of the medicine together, um, integrate it into our life together has been really useful for me. So, Matt, go back to August, give them like our play by play. How do we do the whole medicine together thing? Step one, procure childcare. Overnight, necessary.
yeah. And then I think we took it in the afternoon, maybe like I forget what time we took this time. But
Pause, pause, pause. We'll go all the way back. Like, talk about how we like set ourselves up, how we eat, we cut caffeine out, like do a
okay.
little bit, just like don't go
Mm-hmm.
too long, but okay. So now Matt's going to go into like a little bit about how we do this thing, in the hustle bustle of everyday life with three children of our own. How do we do it?
Yeah. So, well, during the journey, we get overnight childcare, but leading up to the journey, like a week before, we try to eat as healthy as we can, like eating clean, cutting out sugar, eating a lot of greens. Um, yeah, green tea.
Instead of coffee, yeah.
Yeah, cut out coffee, caffeine. So yeah, going into it, we're like prepared.
Yeah, we repair our bodies just as much as we do our minds and our hearts. And we eat the greens because MDMA works with the serotonin receptors, and most of those receptors, most serotonin is produced, I mean, in your gut. And so if you want to have like, um, I don't know, a more easeful come down and not feel
Yeah.
totally depleted, nurture your gut, right?
Yeah. Well, and then yeah, the
And caffeine, why don't we?
antioxidants in
Yeah.
it and fighting like free radicals. Yeah, and
Yeah.
caffeine is just hard on you, hard on you too,
Hmm.
and depletes
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Caffeine in general, I just have to throw this out. There's a misnomer that caffeine gives you energy. But what it does actually is give you a false sense of energy because it binds to the receptors that tell you, I'm tired, I'm hungry, I'm thirsty. So because you're numbed out in those areas, you think you have energy. You're not hungry, you're not thirsty, you can keep going forever. But where that energy is coming from is not from the coffee, it's coming from your adrenals, your excess stores, which is why when you try to get off of coffee, if you're an everyday coffee drinker, you feel like you're dying because your body is showing you, look, you've hemorrhaged a lot of energy over the years. So in order to like just like give the body a little bit of like an extra boost so it has resources when you come back down from this like ecstatic state, we just we're gentle with ourselves.
Yeah. Also, magnesium's good
Yeah, it's helped a lot.
before, during, and after.
Hmm.
Good tip. I don't know. Anyway, so we prepare and then. Hmm.
So, what do we do after we've procured childcare and we've nurtured our minds, bodies, and hearts? Oh, yeah, meditation in the week leading up. After we've
Mm-hmm.
done that in the week leading up to the journey, what then?
So yeah, day of, we set an intention. Kids are gone. I think last time we did some breath work. Like, well,
Mm,
I think we did that after we took the medicine before we came up on it. But um, yeah, what else?
I'm usually really anxious. And so I like it kind of quiet. Like we go, actually, I think every time ever we've gone, one time we went on a bike ride on a nice trail. Usually we lay out in the grass. Just anything grounding really helps me to start to feel safe and to slow down.
Mm-hmm.
And the sounds of nature. So usually we start outside. Yeah, and making sure you have a safe place where you can just be yourself, outside, inside, whatever. Rent an Airbnb if you have to.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, we usually have a some sort of music playlist because music's pretty cool.
mhm. We've had some
um,
epic dance parties.
yeah. So
And then we just have stuff around too. We have like I've set out like markers for us, our dance playlist, toys, if you know what I mean. In case you want to go there. What else do we have? Maybe incense
yeah,
or
let me make sure you have like things for your body too, like electrolytes and magnesium, like I said.
mhm. Yeah, we had big boxes of Costco coconut water last time. We each had a
Yeah.
box.
Yeah, last journey was just kind of connecting. We started outside, went inside, and I think it was just very connecting. There was not a lot of fear, and
Yeah.
so we've come a long way.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. It's just like if you were to look at our first journeys versus this journey, I think our first journey we took together, uh, I uncovered a fear of
Airplanes.
airplanes. Hidden triggers. This is a whole nother episode, but the gist of it is that like when something traumatic happens, your body and your brain are taking note of every single sound, sensation, taste, um, feeling, touch, whatever that are also occurring at that same moment. And so I heard the airplane, and I just had this total recall of a traumatic moment in my life. And I realized that every time I've heard an airplane over the course of my entire life, my body has been remembering this horrible thing. And so there was a lot of tears. And then there was actually a couple months where like hearing airplanes was like really jarring for me. But now I'm not afraid of airplanes anymore. Not even on a subtle level. My body doesn't have a reaction to that anymore. So I share that to say like sometimes things can come up that feel big and scary and like rattling, and they're altering your life, and they're coming up, but they're coming up so that they can move on, move out. And there's so much liberation on the other side if you can hold the discomfort. And I am so excited and proud of us for like, I don't know, just getting to play together. And okay, and every time we take it now, I even said before this journey, I said, I know I'm gonna take it and then just be like, oh hi, there you are. And it's I don't even know if it's as much the medicine as it is making intentional time to just slow down and be together.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite part about taking medicine together?
Hmm. I don't know. It's just feeling connected and yeah, having that time, which we don't get a lot of time, but yeah, having that connection and it's not. It seems like we both open up and just are able to be more free with each other.
He's trying to keep it PG, I think.
Well,
But it goes both ways.
like yeah, I feel like I don't talk as much, but I feel like I can say more. Is not be afraid to say things, and
Yeah. What about me?
vice versa. Well, you like to talk a lot still, so
So then the medicine is useful for me in what way? Or useful for us in what way? Like when I take it, I become more embodied,
hmm
less heady.
yeah,
So there's a lot of touching and a lot more talking that happen.
yeah. So we both kind of enter each other's world, and
Yeah. All right, folks. That's a wrap. Thanks for tuning in. Be good. Take care of yourself. All of these things have only been mentioned for safety and harm reduction. And we definitely recommend working with a professional if you're new to this arena. And anything else?
No.
Test your
Oh yeah.
medicine.
Test. I mean, there's probably a million things we're leaving out, but
Yeah. This is just us sharing our experience, okay? And if it's useful to you, wonderful. We hope. We hope it can be. We hope it can be something for someone somewhere. Bye. This podcast is here to share stories and spark curiosity, not to replace professional advice. Before diving into any psychedelics or practices we talk about here, check in with your own deep knowing, your healthcare provider, and know your local laws. Anchor in your own truth before reaching out for anything or anyone. That is the real power. And one more thing, I make this show just for you. If you're loving it, drop me a comment or review on Spotify, iTunes, or YouTube. Let me know I should keep showing up. Grateful to be here with you.